The point of this is, though, so felching, it does actually have a lot of hits. I have done this research. For research purposes only, you understand. The point is, you see, it gets a lot of hits regularly. So you know you've got a hungry market of people that you can sell to.
Literally.
For those watching the DVDs, when you find out what felching is, that will make sense why it was funny. You've got a market of people who want this product, right? But now you've got to find a product to sell to them. Okay. How do I describe this without, you know, the people at home realising what felching is without going on the internet?
You might as well just tell them.
Yeah, going to have to now, unfortunately, because to complete the process of how you're going to make money, which is the example, the point of this. Felching is, whether it is heterosexual, bisexual or homosexual activity, is the act of anal pleasure between the two partners, and then afterwards, the one sucking out of the other one's rectum the semen that has been deposited there. That is felching. Yes. But there are rather a number of sites devoted to these things. Mentioning it, it's got a big number on Overture, right? That's the point. So you see a market where there's lots of people interested. It may not be felching, it may be some, but hopefully you're getting the principle behind this. So what could you sell to them? Well, to felch, you've got to have anal sex in the first place. So some sort of guide to do with making anal sex easier, safer, more pleasurable would obviously be relevant, which, rest assured, if you search on the net for ones with affiliate links or resale rights, there is already one such book in existence, well, several. One in particular also tells you how to, it goes into the advanced art of fisting up the arse. The products are out there for you, you don't need to create them yourself. What else could we have thinking about it?
Zinc tablets.
Pardon?
Zinc tablets.
Zinc tablets for more production of semen. Yeah, it's relevant. That could be a free bonus they get sent. Semen itself, its taste change based on what you eat, and there are actually tablets that adult stores sell that can make it nicer tasting.
Pineapple.
You seem to have an amazing, if I may say, you seem to have an amazing knowledge of this subject.
I was eavesdropping.
So, you see, suddenly from this overture, 5-minute mad dash on the net, that's all it's took us now. We've just got in, sex, it's come up, and we've also got connotations, but oh, what's this felching? Felching, fucking hell, there's loads of people interested in that. You might quickly type it in a search engine, see what you get, make sure you've got antivirus before you do load. Okay, and I would also Evidence Eliminator, a piece of software called Evidence Eliminator, which I'm afraid you're going to have to pay the full fee for it to work properly. I'm not actually sure how much it costs, because mine accidentally walked out of somebody's corporate office.
It's under $200.
Pardon?
It's under $200.
It's $200, so it's less than 100 quid in
Some
English money.
affiliates, I understand, get an incentive. They're allowed to offer discounts on it.
Right.
So you can sort of shop around and find different affiliates. But the affiliate then in turn gets less of a commission. So
Right.
make more sales.
Well, the key thing is Evidence Eliminator. When you've done all this searching, done your research, you run it through your computer, and it makes it next to impossible for anyone, whether it's the FBI, the police or whatever, to find what websites you've been looking at. Which might come in useful in your private life as well, who knows? Each to their own. So you've very quickly, from this word, found a big market of people, whatever that market is. You then, with a bit of logical thinking, gone off and what's this involve to come up with what would be relevant to that market. You source your product in the way we've talked about already, get your resale license or your affiliate license, or buy the license so you can just produce it yourself, or if you have a particular personal knowledge of the subject, tap something up, write it up, you know? You've then got your product. You then, and there'll be lots of news groups, generally speaking, anything that's got a lot of hits on the internet will also have special interest news groups, so you can start the process exactly as we've been telling you from yesterday. News group, probably cut out the video section, okay, with this particular example. Then into the classified ad for phone call, sales letter, web, then into direct mail, because there's still mailing lists. I've got to be honest, I don't imagine that the mailing list companies will have specific lists for felching, but they certainly have specific lists for adult people who bought recently stuff from adult stores, and they narrow them down into those that have bought DVDs, those that have bought sex aids, those that have bought gay interest, so you can still pretty much narrow it down and follow all the same principles. And that's the point behind what I'm saying. It doesn't matter whether it's felching, knitting, playing the flipping harmonica, playing the guitar. It doesn't matter what the interest group is. The key is it must have a big interest, which is why you use things like Overture.com and checking out, has it got several specialist magazines already, has it got lots of websites. It must then, you must be able to offer some sort of relevant, pushes their buttons, makes them feel good, they want it, product. You then need to acquire your resale right, your license, your affiliate link, or whatever way you want to go around it, or produce one of your own. You then need to follow the processes that we've gone through, whichever one or more of those you want to do. Some people doing this are doing it very successfully, doing nothing else than putting the classified adding and sending out sales letters as a result of the phone calls and getting them to the websites. Other people are doing nothing more than just sending out mail shots to targeted mailing lists. Personally, I say for the time involved, when you've got it set up, you may as well be doing them all. Especially because then you're building up more of a step one mailing list of people who bought from you, who you can book through your funnel and offer increasingly higher value products. Okay? And you're working this 3 to 5 year plan that we spoke about yesterday, so you're not going to be, unless you're a complete utter lunatic, you're not going to be, after that 5 years, you're aiming that you will not be producing any more products. By the end of that 5 years or 3 years, you want it at a point where you've got so many products out there, so many sites already set up, preferably on a basis where they're free or next to no cost. So you're buying an amount of web space where you can put unlimited websites on, rather than doing them all separate. A good place for cheap domain names, by the way, is names.co.uk. So that when you get to the end of that 5 years, you've got a choice. You can either A, carry on pretty much letting it run on autopilot, because by now if your classified ads have been working, you'd leave them running, the bill's just coming in, you're paying it. Most of this is an autopilot. Especially if you use things like ClickBank and they can go pay, download it, so there's no work involved for you. Even better. You can leave it running, you'll still keep getting money coming in for the rest of your life. And yes, you can leave it in your will to your family. Or you can do something remarkably stupid and sell it on as an existing business. There's all the products, there's all the licenses, there's the rights to the adverts, because every advert you write instantly is your copyright, to somebody else as a business proposition for, put a figure on it. Don't fucking know. It depends how many products you've got by the end, what price you've been selling them at, and what track record you can show of the money you've brought in. But you're going to sell considerable amounts of money. I mean a hell of a lot of money. There's no way I'd sell anyone in this room any of the rights outright to any of my DVDs. Well, there is, but what I'm saying is there'd be a cost involved. Let's take the Andrew Newton Hypnotic Masterclass, for example. What do you get in there? How many discs is it? 7? 8. 7 DVDs and 1 CD-ROM. Right, this is the guy who told Paul McKenna. Teaches you hypnosis, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Whatever price it sells for, different sites it sells for different prices. That's irrelevant to this point here. If somebody wanted to buy the rights to this outright, so that I could never sell it again, and we'd have to stop selling it through all our sources, or we'd have to negotiate with you what commission you would give us for selling it on your behalf, then I would be looking at a minimum of 50 grand. Minimum. And that is cheap. Because A, all the work's gone in, the research has gone in, we've proven it sells. All the sales letter blurb's already done. All the testimonials from past customers. Testimonials. All the testimonials from past customers are there, genuine, with provable web links, which gives you the credibility. The work has been done. That one product alone is a business. You can start selling straight away, especially if you use processes like that. And it's got the credibility of the man who told Paul McKenna. And that is legal. The Advertising Standards Authority have looked into it. You'd be talking obscene amounts of money. Product development in itself. There are people that make their living, very good livings, from just taking one section of what I've said this weekend, i.e. going on eBay and buying products with resale rights, going on the various websites, searching the internet for public domain stuff, lumping it together so you end up with like a disc with 12 martial art books on it, coming up with a name, writing a bit of a sales letter for it, putting the sales letter and the website up on the net, running just adverts for a few months, literally 2 or 3 months, to show that this is selling and making a nice profit. And then they'll stick it somewhere like eBay, businesses for sale, and sell the thing on straight away for 10, 20 grand. And all the person's going to end up with is the website you set up for next to no cost with the domain name. It's cost you pennies. The product rep cost you next to fuck all to get. A master copy of that. And a letter from you saying they've got permission to use the sales letter wording and the adverts. You can literally, and you know, that could be, you can set one of those up every week. Alright, you'd have to wait a few months down the line until it's sold a bit so that you can sell it on as a business, a perceived business. That's what it's about, perceived value. But there's not us out there doing it all the time, which is where we get to franchising, because that's what my version of franchising is all about. If you go on eBay at the moment, at this time as you're sat here in this room, that is, unless the auction's ended, of course, but I don't think it ends till tomorrow or the day after. I helped develop recently most haunted style paranormal investigation business in Manchester. Because that's another thing I do, business consultancy. And what a crock of shit that is. Based on the contents of my book, Confessions of a Celebrity Psychic, How I Became Rich and Famous, a fraudulent psychic entertainer and consultant, which will be on sale during the break. Because I'm just about to tell you what somebody else is about to pay a minimum of 10 grand for, and give you the opportunity to do the same yourself for £9.99, because it's all in this book. Because essentially the person who parts with this 10 grand is going to get a copy of this book, right? They are going to get a couple of DVDs of, well, 3 DVDs of the only ever 3 live Most Haunted style events that we've ever run, because we've filmed each of the 3. Obviously, they may possibly get the perception that we only filmed 3 out of the numerous events we've done, but yeah, can't help it if they misunderstand. Because we only ever did 3 of these events during the course of November and December last year. And they will get all the equipment. The equipment, tremendous. Guess what that consists of? 1 deck of tarot cards, which cost a tenner off eBay. 2 sets of divining rods that cost a £5 a set each off eBay. A Ouija board that on eBay cost 20 quid. Yeah. A few torches, pound shop, quid a piece. Well, this is serious. The auction's up on eBay now. No, this is fucking serious. We've done this numerous times before. Develop a business. It's a great laugh. Because it gives me something interesting to do, a reason to go out, get pissed and meet some nutters and, well, my other vices, but we won't go there. So a few torches, then you go to Wilkinson's and buy a few EMF detectors, right? Electromagnetic frequency detectors, okay? Yeah. Because apparently, you know, ghosts give off this static electrical, right? So you buy a few of them. And, well, that's essentially it. No, actually, we did give them a very cheap laptop, which had on it some software which you'll find on the internet if you search paranormal ghost hunting software that allegedly, with these little sensors connected to the laptop, will detect electronic voice phenomenon and all this bullshit. Oh, and they get a couple of sheets of paper with the running order that I put together as to what goes on at a most haunted event, which is essentially just translating into getting a room of nutters who paid 65 quid a piece to come along, who arrive at 7 o'clock at night, stay till midnight, walking around some empty, cold, wet, scary looking building that's cost you nothing to rent, right? And giving them a bit of a buffet that's cost you about 20 quid for a whole load of stuff from Lidl that you whack out on the pest there. I'm not joking! This is exactly what we did! This is exactly what we did! What we have done! This is what they'll be told! This is true! This is exactly what we did! And then having somebody there as a guest spiritualist medium, you know, the poor man's Derek Akara, I did it for the laugh. I was doing all the and then passing out and dropping on the floor. I just got a kick out of it. But there's lots of local spiritualist churches and paranormal groups when you look on the net, and they'll quite happily show up to ghost hunts. Guess what? For their expenses, the petrol, 20, 25 quid. They don't give a fuck. They've got no business sense. They don't realise you're getting 65 quid a ticket for each person who's there, 20 or 30 of them. It's quite an easy, fun way to make yourself anywhere between £1,000 to £2,000 a night. And it's a ridiculously good laugh, because when everyone's fucked off old and you've got the money there and you're going to pay, you think, you fucking gullible. But the point is, we developed that, got a bit fed up with it after doing 3 events. It was making money. We were originally going to franchise it in a conventional sense of, you can buy the Birmingham area, you can buy London, and then we thought, bollocks, could we come up with a far more profitable idea for a different business, which I'm not going to tell you about. So we're just selling the concept. That's what it is, really, a concept, because the stuff they're getting for the money is worth... You all right, mate, do you want to join the sponsored walk? He's a nice lad. He makes all his own dresses. Anyway, right, yeah, where were we? Yeah, all they're getting really is a concept and a couple of £100 quid's worth of tat, right?
How much are you selling it for?
10 grand minimum. We won't let it go for less than 10 grand. I would expect it to go for, well, it's not going for less than 10 grand, we'll just advertise it in a different place. For a concept.
Has there been any bids on it?
I honestly don't know, because I've not been on the internet all weekend. Don't honestly know at the moment. You know what?
What's it called?
The what?
What's it called?
It's on eBay.com.
What's the product called?
The product?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be telling. The eBay user ID is
No, the product.
associated to this paranormal concept, which I was instrumental in helping put together, is Medicare, M-E-D-I-C-A-R-E. But I will deny all knowledge of ever having mentioned that to you. If anyone should contact them, I will deny all fucking knowledge. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
Yes.
No, do we understand each other?
Yes.
Thank you, and I've got video evidence of the fact you've just agreed to that. That's a legal contract in law, so be careful. I didn't just tell you that. But for educational purposes, that's another very easy way of, if you've got an imaginative mind, sitting down, and that was a niche market again, but it was obvious. We were just watching Most Haunted and noticed that ghost towns had come on and there's Sixth Sense, and it's like, and then there's magazines all over WHS, there's a market for this, went on the internet, and guess what? Went on the internet, there's paranormal ghost hunting groups, there's flipping local, hang on a minute. And that was the seed, that was the idea, that from a couple of £100 quid's worth of tat, 3 nights, early last year we made a few grand a night out of, and we'll make another lump of money out of just selling the idea, and it was remarkable fun. So, you know, if you want a bit of a laugh, aside from making a nice chunk of money, or you could just set up your own Most Haunted paranormal style business in your own area. Could have just told you what you need to do, other than the fact that you'd be handy to buy a copy of this book telling you how to do the cold reading and act like Derek Akara and get messages from the dead, and that's it then really. Other than that, you just occasionally go, Did anyone hear that? And you know, all right, maybe my there's no such thing as hypnosis DVD set would be useful if you were going to do paranormal ghost hunts, because then you could, you know, do a bit of aura cleansing and one of them gets a ghost touching them on the shoulder. I think that's enough for anyone to get, but there's an idea there for you. But the point behind that is you can develop things pretty quickly and in a very short space of time, give it a perceived credibility, whereby then you can sell the concept on as a business and make a sizable amount of money, which you can either reinvest into other things or do your next one. I mean, the people I work with on this particular idea, they spend most of the year just coming up with ideas, running them enough times to show that it actually works, so there's receipts to show outgoings, incomings, this is what we did, and then flog the bloody thing on. It's their hobby, but a very profitable one, and something that you could do yourself. Okie dokie, joint ventures. We briefly touched on that yesterday. Joint ventures would be, as we said, just to recap, ties in with sourcing products. It would work in one of several ways. Either you would find somebody who has got a massive mailing list, or database of emails, or postal addresses, or whatever, or site with massive traffic, use your common sense, there's many avenues to this, who will not sell you their mailing list. Okay, obviously you try first to get the mailing list for yourself, because then when you get a sale it becomes your name. On this basis they won't sell you the list, but you've identified, because of your research, that the products they're selling are different from yours, but close enough that it's relevant so that people would, you know, be interested in buying. It's a niche, it'll go alongside. And you would approach them and say, look, it's going to cost you nothing, sort of thing. Why don't you put this product of mine up on your site? We'll do a joint venture. You market it to your email list. You contact everyone on your database. All the orders go to you. The money goes to you. But then everyone that sells you give me X amount, whatever you agree. 50% fair. You're talking high profit volume items here, remember. And then you send the product out for them. The reason you send the product out, obviously it's not that I'm not trusting, but it's just that then you know that you're being paid for every product that does disappear, if you see what I mean. I think that's probably pretty clear. The other way is that people could come to you, or you could approach them and say, look, I've got a mailing list relevant to your product. I would like to plug your product to my hungry base of people. How much commission are you going to give me? Can we do a joint venture and do it in reverse? And those two things alone, by using the processes of news groups, classified ads, sales letters, blah-de-blah-de-blah, are things that lots of these people never do. So therefore you'll be hitting a different area of their niche market, so you will get orders they wouldn't get. They're happy because they're getting extra money. You're happy because on that basis you're just plugging the product. They've got to do all the production of it and sending it out. So you're doing next to nothing and getting money in all the time. That's basically, in a nutshell, what joint ventures are all about. Or it could be to the point of going to somebody because you want to do a seminar like this. I mean, I don't need to now because we own all the gear. But it might be you want to do a seminar like this, so you go to somebody who's a cameraman and you say, look, I want you to come along with a couple of broadcast quality cameras, sound equipment, film it, edit it, book titles, or produce the master copy. But I don't want to pay anything up front. But what I will do is, I will give you this percentage share in every sale of the item. Which, yes, when you sell fucking loads of them, you can get to the point where if you're selling something for 500 quid, and you've got to give them 250 quid a time if you agreed 50-50, or 100 quid if you agreed 20%, that after you sold like 30, 40, 50 of them and they've had 5 grand, you can fall into the trap of thinking, okay, now they only wanted 3 grand up front in the first place. Well, that was what the chopstick story was about yesterday. Don't get greedy. Lots of littles, or in this case, lots of pretty medium large ones, make a much, 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 much bigger one. And it saved you all that grief and time of doing stuff because they're doing it for you. because it's also about that other thing, freedom and time. Okie dokie, it's quite, let me see. Yeah, we will. It's 3:45. 15 minutes maximum, please. I want you back in for 4, because then we can get down to the real nitty-gritty of the last bits and make sure everyone gets the DVDs and all that kind of stuff. Thanks. I can need to stage hypnosis.
Yeah.
It's not American. Excuse me, I was doing it before he flipping. I was on telly before him, as it happens, doing hypnosis. I'm on the front page of the Sun newspaper before him. Bastard got there first. But anyway, such is life. Welcome back. Right, well, this is the last session of the day, the weekend. We're going to try and bring things together and just add 1 or 2 more things to it, albeit you've already got more than enough information. Those of you that haven't already got the Secrets of Hypnotic Success DVDs will be walking away with these. Some of you I know have already purchased these in the past, so what we're going to do could be nice like that. We're going to let you have a different set instead, so that you're not getting duplication. But for those that haven't, say you're actually nice at that. For those that haven't had this set, this is an 11 DVD set with a CD-ROM. It's got on the CD-ROM in text format pretty much everything I've been talking about all weekend, plus a damn sight more besides, and advice on writing press releases, sales letters, web copy, etc. The DVDs themselves, 90% of the content is entirely different than what we've covered this weekend. A large section of this is specifically related to what a lot of you already do in terms of therapy. It's specific examples of using marketing and sales techniques, getting publicity for your therapy business, so that you can increase your business dramatically, your fees dramatically, and therefore make more money while you're getting these things set up before you decide, bollocks to that, I'm not seeing neurotic, fucked up people anymore. I'm just going to wake up in the morning and collect the money. For the people who bought the DVDs and these still come with them, it will actually also teach you everything you need to know about my structure of a complete mind therapy session, so that you can start doing hypnotherapy and start earning money within 24 hours by using the marketing techniques on there. So it's yet another business in a box for you. And products-wise, we've got pretty much everything on the website for sale at huge discounts at the end. Right, back to the plot. Okie dokie. We pretty much need... Oh, Hypno, we're going to leave that till last. That's going to be for somebody a huge money maker. Okay, we were saying about instant downloads of ebooks. You already now know how to create your products, find your products, price your products, advertise your products. That bit's easy. If you use something like ClickBank, you can set it up so that they pay and they can do an instant download. Or you may choose to go to somewhere like autoresponder.com. Now there's 2 versions of it, auto-responder.com and autoresponder without the hyphen.com. And they're both different companies. What one will do, the other won't, and vice versa, so it's down to what you actually want it to be able to do. One of them will offer you the facility for instant downloads, so that when people pay, the receipt they get back gives them like a passcode that they can then go to the web link, put that passcode in and download the product. And you change that passcode, it's up to you, you can have it done randomly so that no time involved by yourself, it does it for you, random generation every so many hours, so that people can't get that code and then go on an internet news group and give the web link out to people. You know, it's avoiding losing sales. So that's something we've already really spoken about, that should already make sense, it's just another area you might want to look into. Okay, back to websites very briefly. One thing I didn't mention yesterday is that your website, whilst the emphasis of all this is to get people to your website in a manner whereby they will part with money there and then, because there's plenty of pay now buttons and options along the way. Some people, for whatever reason, won't. It may be purely and simply they want it, but they haven't got the money at the time. So they'll bookmark the site. Okay? Bookmark the site, which that phrase is important, because you can have a button on your site saying bookmark this site so you can find it easy in future. Secondly, if you offer them something for free, just in case they don't buy there and then, offer them something for free. You know, click here for free ebook or whatever, which can be set up on an autoresponder, so the moment they submit this form, automatically the software, the online service that you've signed up to, will send that out to them automatically, so there's no work involved. Logically, at the end of whatever ebook you decide to send them out, you would have added an additional page where there will be sales copy for the product that you're selling to try and get them back to your site to part with money or other sites, so you're constantly bringing people back. But when they click on this, and your web creation software will help you do this, it will say, to receive your amazing manual called whatever enticing title you give it, relevant to that niche market, please fill in the form below. And it's going to ask them basically for their name, address, their email address. You can ask for more information, that's all you really need. Name, address, email address. Not necessarily in that order. The first thing you'll ask them for is the email address, because obviously that's where it's going to get emailed to, the book. Then it'll ask for the name and address, so that you're adding an extra name to your mailing list, which therefore then you can be renting out to mailing list companies and making money from, albeit you'd have to at that time class that as a list of inquirers. And so hopefully you already now remember, they're not the ones you want to be buying for these processes. You want to be buying known buyers lists. But people will still rent out inquirers, albeit will pay less for it, but you still make money out of renting the list out. So it's worth collecting that list. Further, it gives you the names and addresses to target yourself, because you know they're interested in that niche market. So then you can send out the sales letter through the post. And if they haven't bought anything within a certain length of time, put together a different sales letter, you know, limited 7-day offer. You've seen the site. If you order by a mail order instead of off the internet, where it's 297 quid, order within 7 days, yours for 97 quid. So you're not losing a lead, you're converting them. The maximum number you're converting and taking some money on. It would then ask for the name and address, and then at the bottom it would ask for their email address again. And it's set up in such a way that when they click it to get their free ebook, it won't let them do it unless they filled in these fields. The reason for asking for the email address twice is because sometimes people get it wrong when they're typing. Okay? Now that's not so important when you're selling something, because they won't get it wrong, because the payment method they're paying by, it will all be correct, it will go through to them. But when you're giving something free, they might accidentally hit the wrong key, and then that means your free ebook, that's also your follow-up sales blurb, is going to the wrong address. It'll come back, bounce back, or go to somebody else's inbox and think, what the fuck's this Ninja Death Secret pamphlet? But it also means you've lost a lead that you could market related products to. So by asking for it again, what this stops people doing, some sites do it, but they ask for it twice, retype password straight underneath. And people are generally lazy, so what they'll do is they'll copy and paste what they've just typed in underneath, which means if they spelt it wrong in the first place, the second one's going to be wrong as well. If it goes email, name, address, email, because it's there, it's like, oh, the more often than not retype it, then you've got confirmation, or there's twice the chance of having the right email address. Because they have opted in to receive, because it does say in small print on this, you may receive promotional offers from time to time, because they have opted in, as your list of emails of people who've got the free ebooks builds up, you can then, when you get another ebook related to martial arts, use an autoresponder type service that will allow you, through what you've signed up for, to do bulk email, do one sales letter, click send, and it goes to everyone on that email list in seconds. A small percentage of which will buy there and then, a larger percentage of which, because it's a niche market, will click through to look at the whatever web link you give, and a percentage of which will part with more money, and it's cost you nothing for adverts, sales letters, and so it becomes even easier. This, as you go along, becomes easier and easier and easier. That's really it regards websites. We covered everything else about that yesterday. Okay. Tax avoidance, company name, image, etc. Tax evasion is illegal. Tax avoidance is not. I am not going to talk too much about this because the world of tax and finance is so constantly changing that the best piece of advice is get a bloody good accountant, without a doubt. However, remember that how can we bulk this? Right, I'll give you one tip. British Actors Equity Association, which is equity, bugger. I think it's equuity.org.uk, but I wouldn't swear on it. If not, just type in British Actors Equity Association. Join them. I'm not suggesting that you tell any lies or anything, obviously, but if perhaps you were to get one or two local pub landlords who you were friendly with to give you bits of paper saying that you were employed there as either...
It's 5 now.
5, is it?
Yeah.
Right, 5 of them. To say that you've either been there as a singer, a comedian, a hypnotist, whatever. So it falls within their joining criteria. Once you're a member of equity, which at the moment will cost you £100 a year, you will save many times that in tax. Because as a member of the show business fraternity, you can claim for practically everything that occurs to you from the moment you get out of bed till the moment you go to sleep. On account of the fact that your public image has to be upheld. Because you do talks in public, don't you? And if anyone comes along and says, well, you make so much fucking money out of marketing product, you say, yeah, I know it makes so much, but it's a sideline. And now and again, for select shows, I go out and I do my stand-up comedy or whatever bullshit, you know? You can claim for practically everything you wear, because it's perceived as costumes, your public image. You can, you know, they actually give you a guide on what you can claim to. And it's a good job they do, because 99% of accountants, including mine, did not believe the amount of stuff that equity have argued the toss over and got cleared through the courts and through the Inland Revenue as to what you can actually legally, legitimately, and that's the key word, legally claim as tax-deductible expenses. And that is a really good motive for being involved in show business. So, you know, if you're not already and you want to become a stage hypnotist, we do have relevant DVDs on sale or by mail order via hypnotherapycourse.net, just so that you feel ethical in yourself about joining equity, because obviously you might do the odd show. But no, seriously, it does allow you to claim for so much more. Most industries now, you're not allowed to claim for too many entertainment expenses in terms of taking people out for meals or drinks. Show business is all about fucking entertainment. You can claim for practically everything. It's saved me thousands upon thousands of pounds legally over the years.
I've appeared on TV once, so that's 1 towards the 5.
That's 1 towards the 5. Yep, it is indeed. So, you know, that's just something you might...
Does radio count?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of seeing if I could get on the radio.
Yeah, as long as you can show that you got paid an equity acceptable fee for it, which is where the landlords come in telling a little white lie. It has to be it's all on the website, but that's something you may want to look into more. It's explained in more detail anyway on the other DVD set. Because that will save you massive amounts of money. As also can having an overseas limited company. Unfortunately, quite recently, early last year, they changed the law, so you now are obliged, bastards, you now are obliged to declare any overseas companies that you are a director of on your tax returns. Bastards. However, that's why I say get a good accountant. There are still certain benefits, because with companies you pay corporation tax, which off the top of my head, I'm not an accountant, but I seem to recall my accountant telling me that it's only 12% that gets took from that particular company, rather than the base being 25% and going up to 40%. Do the maths. 12% or 25%, 12% or 40%. That's instant benefit 1, but you need an accountant who knows what he's doing. Point 2 is that your publishing company overseas can own the copyright on all your products, couldn't it? Perhaps, possibly. I'm not saying I've ever done this, I'm not saying I haven't, I'm just saying that just perhaps over here, your publishing company overseas owns all the copyrights. So if anything happened over here in England, and ever you got in any financial trouble, nobody could ever take those products off you or the business. Point 1. Point 2. Obviously, every sale that you make here in England, you have to pay a very big cut of that money, don't you, to the publishing company, because they own the rights. So at the end of each month, the invoice comes from the publishing company for the amount you've sold, and you have to pay the publishing company, so the money's now here overseas. And you've got your receipt over here in England, showing how much you paid out, legitimate tax deductible expense. Perhaps you're getting the idea. In terms of that, we go into more depth about tax avoidance, legal tax avoidance, on the other DVD set. That's point 1. Point 2, there's information about it on the CD-ROM you'll take away in the folder called Business Books and Finance. And number 3, in all cases, ignore everything I've said. Don't take responsibility for anything I've told you. Get the advice of an accountant. An accountant is always good as a fall guy anywhere. Make sure you always make sure whatever you ask your accountant to do or ask advice on, that you demand they reply to you in writing. Because then you've got a paper trail to show you've acted upon someone else's perceived professional advice. And therefore you have never intentionally defrauded anyone, have you? You've just acted upon respectable, professional, ethical advice. As long as you've got your paper trail.
When you've got so much money you don't know what to do, then it's really becoming a problem. We can help you with offshore accounts in places which do not report back to the UK. So forget the channel.
Right, well, you could get a Swiss I can't even pronounce it. Zabuc, Z-A-R-B-U-I-C-H, I think it's spelled like that. But if you bought offshore account Switzerland, I'm pretty sure it'd come up. It's spelled something like that. Oh, it is. You go in. Oh, right, okay. I'm just saying this one. Basically, you go, you give them the money, and you walk out with a passbook. All it's got on is a number, no name. The only way that that money can ever come out of there is if the person produces that passbook. So obviously keep it very, very safe. Because whoever's got it can get your money. That's one option. There's some more secure ones, I'm sure. But in certain cases, you need a minimum of 1 million sterling cash to be able to give them before you're allowed to even open the account, aren't you? Some of them.
100,000.
Oh, that's interesting. I may just have a word with you after. No, there's some of them where you do have to have a minimum of £1 million.
Yes,
and some of them it's worse than that, or better, depending on how you look at it, because as you go down your 3 to 5 year plan, you'll be in a position to afford it. Some of them you've actually not only got to have a certain amount of cash to put in the account, but you've also got to buy a property residence there. Which is the other thing I'd advise you to look into. P.T. PT. Becoming a perpetual traveller. Perpetual traveller. If you search that, along with the words tax avoidance, you will find numerous sites giving you all the information you need, so that as you're making this money, and it's the beautiful thing about this whole business process we've covered this weekend, is that when it's set up, it runs on autopilot. You can be anywhere in the world. Anything you do need to do in terms of sending your money to the bank can be done anywhere in the world, whether that's by mobile phone, handheld computer, laptop, whatever. It can be done from anywhere in the world, which means that you can be travelling the world constantly, or at least the paper trail needs to show that you've been travelling the world constantly. And we're not going to say any more on that because you can find it out on the net. But if you are not resident in this country, that country, that country, that country, if you're not resident anywhere within certain time limits, which you can find out on the net, you suddenly become invisible and not relevant to paying any tax anywhere because you've not been resident in there long enough, there long enough, there long enough. And I'm not on about having to move every single bloody week or anything like that. I'm talking you can do this months at a time. Ethical, don't know. Legal, that's debatable, but I'll let you look into that yourself if you so choose, as and when that time comes for you. Right, okay, we're nearly at the hypno side, which is good. What else have we got left here? Yep, drop shipping. Which reminds me, before that, we spoke about affiliates before, using other people's products, yeah? The Amazon we gave as an example, but you do a similar thing, whatever the product was, in terms of specifically pointing out one product for a niche market. Some sites you might find useful in that regard are affiliate, an affiliate, by the way, is spelled A-F-F-I-L-I-A-T-E, affiliate directory info.com. The next one is affiliates, that's with an S this time, affiliates database.com. The next one is affiliate zone, that's zone with a Z.com. And then there's also associate, A-S-S-O-C-I-A-T-E, programs, programs.com. They'll get you started in terms of people that are quite happy to let you sell their products, do all the work, sending it out, producing it, and give you a cut of the money because you're the one who's gone the intelligent way about getting traffic to your site. So yeah, drop shipping, and in a similar way, very similar to being an affiliate, but less limited. If you go on eBay and search for drop shipping as key terms, you'll find places. Needless to say, look for ones that have got lots and lots and lots and lots of positive feedback, okay? Because in general, that means they're reliable. It's about doing your research. Drop shipping can be done with practically any product you can think of. If you search around the internet, you'll find places to drop ship. Whether that's dog leads, motorcycle leathers, whether it's washing machines, whatever. There are companies out, whether it's Hoovers, and we did briefly have a Hoover website, Pete and me. Yeah, it sounds daft, but we bought the business, sold it, we cleaned up though. No, it wasn't, yeah, joking aside, we did actually have a Hoover business, and all that entailed really was a website, getting traffic to that site, and then they bought stuff, but the orders went out, somebody else sent them out, someone else did the delivering, and all that the other, and we got a big chunk of the money. So these are things you can look at. Anything, literally any product on the planet, you will, if you bother to do the research, the net is the easiest way of doing it, find places that will do drop shipping. So you can be offering on your own site that you created through your website creation software, with images that you take off their site, put your site together very easily because you're practically copying and pasting it all, basically. You already know about the credit card side of it all. And that's it, you're in business selling washing machines, Hoovers, but you never need to have any stock. You never have to buy any stock up front. You never have to deliver anything or anything like that. It basically runs on autopilot. And let me tell you, in terms of actually advertising the Hoover site, we didn't do anything, we were lazy. We realised it'd be a bit too labour intensive in terms of timing for profits out. So we didn't do search engine optimisation, we didn't do AdWords or anything like that. We just left it sitting there, basically. We bought it as an existing site from somebody who was flogging it on eBay for a few grand. But, you know, in less than a month, the cost of the site had come back, and it was making a couple of grand a month. We could have made a damn sight more if we'd have bothered to promote the site. But then you're getting into the realms of, if you're selling a washing machine, well, or hoovers, there aren't really, oh God, please don't anyone, especially not you James, tell me that there is. But I don't think there's any internet news groups or special interest news groups for hoovers. Unless it's involving felching maybe, I don't know. Self-felching. Could be a new market for you there, couldn't there? Selling the hoovers and the kit, I don't know. But no, seriously, so one of your options is out of the window there for getting traffic. Classified ads, you're not really going to do it. Too many people are sort of doing that. If you wanted to, shall we say, book more hours of working, which totally contradicts everything else we've taught you this weekend, but I'll just throw in another thing you may choose to do, some of you, in terms of an additional income. You set the site up so that you can get the orders, they'll do the drop shipping. How are you going to get people to the site? You go to things like Loot, the free ads paper, and all your local papers where they've got the, you know, items of sale under so much price, or the free ads, because Loot, everything's sort of free. And you put the ad in so it doesn't mention price, it's just like, such and such a Hoover available, call this number. Such and such a washing machine available, call this number. Low price, quick sale. When they ring up, they get an answer machine message if you're really lazy. I've just thought of the slip, we should have fucking done this, Pete. Yeah, they get an answer machine message and thanks for calling. Unfortunately, everyone's really busy, but I'll tell you what, get on the internet and visit this website address. You're getting people traffic to your site, and your advert, your classified ads, free of fucking charge. Why didn't we do that with the Hoovers? I just thought, fucking, can you buy the side bag? No, you bastard. Bugger. But yeah, with drop shipping, you don't have to have any stock. That way, you don't even have to pay for the ads. Just another thought for you. Right. Ooh, bloody hell. I'm racing through this. Cooking on gas. Right. Shall we leave eBay till last? We will. We'll talk about hypnosis briefly. Could it also give me a chance to plug things? In this book, Confessions of a Hypnotist, which will be available at I haven't got a clue because I'm not selling the stuff after. That's what staff are for.
That's a fantastic book it is too.
Thank you, darling. You check with me in the post.
I agree.
And yours as well. I'll send you one. I know you have. I meant the check.
Oh, the check. Oh, yeah.
Saying that, no, I'm joking. Chapter 20. The book's good if you want to be an hypnotist. The book's good if you want to get your leg over. The book's good in various ways, but more importantly is chapter 22, page 364, which is your key to thousands and thousands of pounds. Chapter 22, non-Pacific treatment script. It's a word for word, exactly the way I have always done it for years. Script from start to finish for one of my complete mind therapy sessions. But more importantly, it is worded in such a manner that it is non-Pacific, oddly enough, hence his name. So that the client listening to the script, being related to them, either in person or on a recording, attaches their own values, beliefs, ideas, motivations and desires to what is being said, and fills in the blanks in such a manner that this person over here listening to it, who wants to improve the golf, it will help them improve the golf. The person over here listening to exactly the same words, because of the way it's worded, so it leaves it to their own mind, who wants to stop smoking, it will stop them smoking. The person over here who listens to it, it will cure their phobia of spiders. In other words, one fits everybody, whatever the thing is from A through to Z. Which, is there anyone in the room who's actually been doing complete mind therapy? Yeah?
I actually used that on the fear of flying.
Uh-huh.
Fine.
So you can vouch that it works.
Fine.
Can anyone vouch it works for things other than fear of flying?
Wait,
Alcohol,
Smoking.
weight, smoking, anxiety. There's just a few examples.
Agoraphobia.
In my experience and other people's experience, and thousands of people that I've taught around the world, as you'll see on my internet news group, if you go to hypnotherapycourse.net, click on join the news group, or actually just look through the website, see the testimonials from real people with real website addresses that you can get in contact with and check. Everything you can think of from A through to Z. This is, it sounds arrogant, big-headed. You know, somebody did once say to me, Jonathan, because that's my name, but my birth is Alex Smith, but they said to me, Jonathan, you know what? You're classless and arrogant. I said, yeah, but I'm classless, arrogant, and fucking rich, so fuck off. So I don't give a shit. I know that that is the best fucking book on hypnosis ever written. You don't need to go on any courses whatsoever. More importantly, chapter 22 is the best script that's ever been written or ever will be fucking written to help people with any problem from A through to Z. But how does that help anyone who doesn't want to become a hypnotist? Here's how. Because the script is in there, word for word, exactly. All you need to do is get your computer and your microphone and read that script, word for word, and record it on the computer. Step 1. Step 2, you go on eBay and you type in copyright-free relaxation music. And you purchase a disc for less than a tenner, which gives you the rights to resell this music. Yeah? You then, using your SoundLab or similar software, which does have a help section to tell you how to do it, lay your words over the copyright-free relaxation music. You burn your master disc. You have now got not one product, you have got the master to literally hundreds and thousands of products. That one disc, just by giving it a different title and a different package, can be sold to that niche market, practically any niche market you can think of. So it will come in very useful to you on several levels. Level 1, practically all niche markets should be able to think of a way of adding that in as a free bonus gift if they respond within 7 days. Even with felching, I don't know, because it would help you relax more, to enjoy the experience.
Overcome the initial fear of felching.
Were you scared, sir? Welcome to group therapy. Were you scared the first time?
Not at all, I was actually kind of excited. But
The disturbing part is I think he's telling the truth. No!
that's an example, should I just pretend I'm scared? Or?
No, you're alright. Chill. Don't worry. We know enough. But it can literally be a bonus thing for practically any project you're doing by putting a different title on it. So if you're selling a package for people of e-books and how to improve the golf swing and stuff, respond within 7 days and get this, you know, improve your golf audio CD, which has got a perceived retail value of, you say, something real like, you know, 27 quid or whatever. If you want to make that seem even more credible, then obviously you set up one of the free websites, so it's not costing you, like at fusyweb.co.uk, with that item up, showing it at that price, so it can be mentioned in the sales blurb. Are we following this? Yeah, good, tremendous.